When I look down at a pair of sneakers, I see more than shoes. I see history, identity, rebellion, and aspiration stitched into leather and rubber. Sneakers began as simple tools built for athletes who needed support and grip. But over the past century, they have evolved into cultural icons, coveted collectibles, and billion-dollar fashion statements. This is the story of how sneakers left the court, the track, and the gym to conquer the streets and redefine style. The story begins in the late 19th century, when industrialization made rubber soles widely available. Companies like the US Rubber Company created canvas shoes with vulcanized rubber bottoms, marketed as plimsolls. They were light, flexible, and ideal for leisure activities. By the early 20th century, these shoes were being promoted for sports. In 1917, Converse introduced the All-Star, a high-top basketball shoe that would soon become legendary. When basketball player Chuck Taylor endorsed them, adding his name and signature to the design, the Converse Chuck Taylor All-Stars became the first mass-marketed athletic shoe linked directly to a personality. Through the mid-20th century, sneakers were tied to function. Adidas and Puma, both founded in Germany by rival brothers, competed fiercely to dominate international sports. Adidas developed lightweight running shoes, famously worn by Jesse Owens at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. Puma supplied soccer players and track athletes. Sneakers were designed to win medals, not to make fashion statements. But even then, seeds of style were being planted. By the 1970s, sneakers were stepping off the field and into everyday life. Jogging became a cultural craze in the United States, and brands like Nike capitalized. Founded in Oregon, Nike introduced running shoes that combined comfort, innovation, and marketing savvy. The waffle sole, created by co-founder Bill Bowerman using a household waffle iron, gave runners better traction and symbolized the creative spirit that would drive the brand. The true revolution came in the 1980s. Basketball exploded in popularity, and Nike signed a rookie named Michael Jordan. The release of the Air Jordan 1 in 1985 changed everything. The NBA tried to ban the shoes for breaking uniform rules, but Nike turned the ban into marketing gold, portraying Jordan as a rebel who defied authority. Suddenly, sneakers were not just for playing, they were for identity, status, and attitude. Kids lined up to buy Jordans, and sneaker culture was born. Adidas also left its mark with hip-hop. In New York, the group Run DMC wore Adidas Superstar shoes without laces, making them part of street style. Their song My Adidas turned footwear into music, and Adidas rewarded them with one of the first major endorsement deals between a sports brand and a musical group. Sneakers were no longer confined to gyms, they belonged to culture itself. From that point on, sneakers became a canvas for creativity. Limited editions, bold colors, and collaborations with athletes, musicians, and artists turned shoes into collectibles. Nike released Air Max models with visible air cushioning. Reebok launched the Pump with inflatable chambers. Vans became synonymous with skateboarding culture in California. Each subculture claimed its sneakers, transforming them into symbols of belonging. The 1990s and 2000s deepened this connection. Sneakers crossed over into luxury. Brands like Prada and Balenciaga began designing high-end versions. Collaborations with artists like Kanye West and Pharrell Williams blurred the lines between fashion, art, and sportswear. The resale market exploded, with sneakerheads lining up for drops and trading rare editions for thousands of dollars. Sneakers became both currency and identity, but the rise of sneaker culture also brought contradictions. While sneakers symbolized freedom and self-expression, they were also tied to mass production, sweatshops, and environmental costs. Activists criticized poor labor conditions in factories. Environmentalists pointed to wasteful materials and short product cycles. Sneakers reflected the same tensions as jeans and pizza, global symbols of culture with hidden costs. Still, sneakers maintained their power. They became central in films, from Marty McFly's self-lacing Nikes in Back to the Future to Asunu, to countless street dramas where sneakers defined status. In music videos, on runways, in art galleries, sneakers walked far from their athletic roots. They symbolized rebellion, aspiration, and belonging all at once. Today, sneakers dominate a multi-billion-dollar industry. They are worn by presidents and schoolchildren, by athletes and artists, by rebels and executives. Some people wear them for comfort, others for performance, many for fashion. A pair of limited Jordans can sell for more than a car. At the same time, affordable sneakers remain staples worldwide. Sneakers are both democratic and exclusive, both universal and elite. Looking to the future, sneakers continue to evolve. Brands experiment with sustainable materials, 3D printing, and circular design models where shoes can be recycled and remade. Digital culture has even created NFT sneakers, collectible only in virtual worlds. The sneaker has become a symbol of innovation as much as style. When I see a pair of sneakers, I see more than footwear. I see a story of invention and rivalry, of athletes and artists, of streets and stadiums, of rebellion and aspiration. Sneakers carry history in every stitch and promise in every step. They began as tools for sport, but they became cultural icons, worn by billions across the world. Sneakers are not just shoes, they are identity on your feet.